Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. On behalf of OTC Markets, we are very pleased you've joined us for the Precious Metals and Critical Minerals Conference. The next presentation of the day is from GR Silver Mining. Please note you may submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings by clicking Book a Meeting. At this point, I am very pleased to welcome Marcio Fonseca, President and Chief Executive Officer of GR Silver Mining, which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol GRSLF and on TSXV under the symbol GRSL. Welcome, Marcio.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity to present GR Silver. We are silver resource growth in Mexico. We are drilling as we speak, and I would like to present to the audience what we are planning to do and doing in Mexico in 2026. I'll be making some forward-looking statements. This is a traditional standard cautionary statement. What's the core of our business? We are aiming to generate value in this really bullish silver market by creating value, increasing the ounces that we have in the Plomosas project, which is located in the border between Durango and Sinaloa. We have already 134 million ounces of silver equivalent. We have an excellent infrastructure, which is a brownfields, more towards development stage project, which comes also with permits to potentially restart the mine in the future. The company is in a very healthy financial position. We are fully funded with $28.8 million in the bank, no debt, controlling 100% of the Plomosas project. The way we work in Mexico is by de-risking the exploration and the development stage by looking for projects that have a very low cost of discovery. The company, as today, have been able to successfully achieve 17 cents of Canadian dollar per ounce of ounce discovered in the ground, because we are discovering wide silver deposits, which is very attractive for future development and major value for the shareholders. Important today is for the audience to understand that 2026 is a transformational year. We have 4 major catalysts happening. We are drilling probably 20,000 meters of drilling at the San Marcial area. And why we're doing this? Because we believe we can expand that size of that resource materially. To give a bit of really reference, we are drilling more in 1 year than we ever drilled in that area. We have just completed some metallurgical test work as part of the book Simp Test Mining in the Plomosas mine area. That's 5 kilometers from the San Marcial area. And why that's important? Because that's going to give the company conditions to look at how to install a pilot plant on that site. Another milestone and another big catalyst is going to be a resource update that we are anticipating to have in the second half of 2026, integrating all the existing drilling plus the 20,000 meters. And by the end of the year, another catalyst is the completion of the preliminary economic assessment report, which is a very big milestone because for the first time ever, we are going to connect the Plomosas mine area that has an existing underground mine, and we hope by the end of the year, the pilot plant, with the new area that's 5 kilometers, that's accessible by road, and present to the market what's the value under the current market conditions. Since last June, when I took over the management, and I'm the founder of the company together with other founders, I brought new team. We put a transformation process in place. We came to the market saying that we were going to bring new management with experience to really not only explore, but also to build the mines. We received a good welcome from the capital markets in August when we raised $13.8 million. And we were able to restart the drilling in the San Marcial area. That was very important for us because using the knowledge that we collect in the last 4 or 5 years, we were able to replicate the successful drilling results that we had in the past. A couple of years ago, we had a drill hole that was 100 meters at 306 grams per ton of silver. And with the cash position that we raised money in last August, we were able to drill another hole that was 75 meters at 260 grams per ton of silver, pushing us more towards the resource expansion. And we went back to the Mexican authorities and applied for a permit. And with our diligent work, we were able to get a 5-year drilling permit, which is really a major catalyst for this company. And in December, the market realized that we are on track, delivering what we promised. And we were able to raise 20 million Canadian dollars, making the company in a super healthy cash position today, $28.8 million. The healthiest position ever this company has been able to deliver what we want to do in Mexico. And this has been reflected in the volume, in the trading of the company. As you can see on this graph, in the last 9 months, the company has achieved a material volume of liquidity trading every day. On an average, 6.5 million shares trading every day. From last June to now, we have increased the institutional holdings in this company from less than 10% to close to 30% now. Of course, we have a retraction based on the silver price, that there was a correction, but we have been able to materially increase the value of the company. And we believe that 2026 is another year that's going to provide this type of catalysts and help the company to continue to increase the value. As a matter of location, it's important to highlight that we are located on the southwestern edge of the Sierra Madre Occidental, which is a very important feature in Mexico, hosts a lot of large silver deposits, but most of them comes with lead and zinc. We've been able to define in San Marcial, that's 5 kilometers from Plomosas, the best producer mine, a silver predominantly asset. 85% of the metal content is silver. And with our diligent work, working with the communities and all the relationships in Mexico, we've been working in Mexico for more than 20 years. We have established 2 accesses, one from Durango, that's 240 kilometers, and another from Mazatlan in Sinaloa. So the company has flexibility to operate and continue to drill, and in the future to bring engineers and work more in the development of the combination of the Plomosas together with the San Marcial, making it a more solid project together. Why we are so excited? Because last year, working with the data and with the geophysical survey, I'm presenting here ground geophysical survey interpretation. We delineated a large geophysical anomaly in the San Marcial area. And we realized that we have drilled only 20% of this anomaly. We still have a lot of space to drill. And applying all the knowledge that we put together, geology, geochemistry, and all the interpretations, we start drilling again as we step out on the edge of this anomaly. And we continue hitting mineralization. That's why I said earlier that we hit 75 meters at 260 grams per ton of silver. That's why the company now, after raising close to 34 million Canadian dollars, we are fully funded to have a material 20,000 meter drilling program that's mainly step out drilling to increase the resource and increase the total resource of the company from 134 million ounces of silver equivalent to a much bigger number. And why this anomaly is very important? This is a cross-section. We discover what is very unique in geology is an intrusive system which has signature of a potential porphyry. And our original discovery hole, as you can see on this slide here, 101.6 meters at 308 grams per ton silver, was just the beginning of our journey. We put all the data together and we drilled 150 to 200 meters down deep, and we intersected 75 meters at 260 grams per ton of silver, showing that we are on the edge of what can be a silver discovery in Mexico. And now, with all the permits in place for drilling in the San Marcial area, 5-year drilling permit, with no cap in the meterage, how many meters you can drill, we are well placed to continue to expand this resource and make San Marcial a much bigger silver project. And together with the Plomosas, make a more development stage project in 2026. In addition to the discovery of the 75 meters, what I'm showing here is a 3D model. We've been very diligent to look why we are so successful drilling these holes that are so wide with a lot of silver. We went around on the edges and started looking at the rocks. And recently we have discovered what is a parallel zone. What's the meaning? We are having a second area that we can drill and add to the resources. And we are going to do that. So what we have here is a parallel breccia is a secondary zone that is going to create additional opportunities to increase the resource. And again, it's the 85% of content of silver in the total metal content in the mineralization is a major signature of this deposit, which makes it very attractive for future silver development. Looking at how we are going to drill and how we are planning to drill, most of our drilling is a step-out drilling program. What's the meaning? We are drilling outside of the existing resource. If you look on this slide, the pink area is the resource that was done in 2023. Looking at the data and the most recent drill hole data, we have discovered that we have a lot of intersections that are above 500 grams per ton of silver, which define a high-grade area. We have put together all this in a 3D model, and now we are drilling as a step-out down plunge or down deep. The 20,000 meters is not infill drilling; it's a drilling program to add ounces to what we have already in the company. So the success of discovering these wide mineralizations, on average 25 meters wide, has provided GF Silver some leverage in the exploration and definition of large deposits. This graph is to show that the company has been able to define 4,000 ounces of silver per meter drilled, when the average of the other peers companies, even though they have a larger market cap, they are in the 1,000, 1,500. Which, what's the meaning? Makes us really get more ounces from these 20,000 meters, because you're drilling on the edges of what we already know. And you have this ability to drill, to achieve a lot of ounces per meter drilled. As I said at the beginning, the Plomosas project is combined of two areas. We have the Plomosas mine area that was a past producer. It shut down in 2001. We acquired this area, this concession, which you control 100%, from First Majestic, which used to be a shareholder in our company. This area comes with a lot of infrastructure. The only thing that we don't have here is a plant. We have 7.4 kilometers of underground development, tunnels inside this mountain. We have a mining camp, power lines, permits. So that's why the company is advancing the pilot plant study. We have just completed the metallurgical test work with attractive recoveries of lead and zinc, with high-grade silver reporting to the lead. And we are receiving now more calls of takers and other partners that are looking, what are you planning to do with the pilot plant? We are planning to use this as a way to have the social license and combine this together with San Marcial, because they are 5 kilometers from each other and there's a road. So it makes sense to create a combination. And when you look what's inside the underground mine, we came across a lot of high-grade silver in areas that were not mined before. Range of kilos of silver. And when we went underground and did the test work, a lot of the lead-rich samples came with very attractive silver grades. And when we complete the test work, we realized that the lead concentrate can have up or above a kilo of silver, which makes very attractive. So this is a polymetallic deposit, which is different than San Marcial. San Marcial is a silver deposit, but we are looking a way to really extract value. That's why you put together the bulk sample test mining program. And we are, as we speak now, working with the engineers. We have just completed the design of the pilot plant and looking for alternatives, how we can find a sizable plant that can fit into the area, and you bring this back into some sort of pilot plant scale in the next couple of months. Important to present to the audience that the new management, when came on board, put very clear that we would really create a roadmap where we will be very, very attentive and take a lot of care about to deliver and really to present to the market some sort of milestones. When you came on board, we said that we were going to restructure the company. We removed a lot of the liabilities, and we raised the $13.8 million. We start drilling, and we got the permit. And in December, we secured additional $20 million. You can see by the deliver points. More recently, there will be another point here. We completed successfully the metallurgical test work, and we are embarking, continue to embark in more engineering studies and more drilling. The drill rigs, as we speak, have been mobilized to the San Marcial area because the permits are in place. And soon there will be a consistent news flow of drill hole results from San Marcial. All of this is possible because I think to make a company successful is we need to have a team of talented people that have experience not only exploring, but building companies, building plants, building mines, transacting companies. You can see here that most of the individuals here have a track record of successful stories, such as Silvercrest Mines, that was a successful story that was acquired by First Majestic in Sonora, in Mexico. Banking experience, large mining companies experience, and well-established silver companies. People that have been exploring, developing, building mining companies. That's what makes us very particular and engaged in a way to really make GR Silver a successful story. The capital structure of the company today is with 508 million shares outstanding, fully diluted is close to 640. We have a market cap of 220 million Canadian dollars. When you look at the number of ounces that we have in the books, we have 134. We are trading probably today at $1.10, $1.20 Canadian dollars per ounce. Peers are trading at $3, $4. So it's part of our work now to make more visible the story, to really get the re-rating. But having said that, another opportunity that we believe can really bring more value to the company is the installation of the pilot plant. Because companies that have 1/3 of our resource have a market cap of 500, 600, 700 million. The difference is that they are producing. But we are going to put a pilot plant to start gaining knowledge and training personnel. And with the $28.8 million in the bank, it's a solid position, financial position, to deliver what we want to do in 2026. We have received recently more support from institutional shareholders, and this has been a very important point for the company. In the two finances that we did in last year, in the first one in the August, September, and in December, which has really made us more close to 23 and increasing. And with the trading volume that we have every day, that has increased a lot. Having said that, what's very important, what are the major investment highlights? We have a very material drilling program, step-out drilling program in progress, and it's concentrating at San Marcial, that's the silver asset, because we believe that can bring a lot of ounces in 2026 when you update the resource. So the 134 million ounces of silver equivalent is going to grow in 2026. That's a major highlight. We have a low cost per silver ounce discovery. Our 17 cents of Canadian dollar per ounce shows that we can really add ounces at low cost. Our dollar can go a lot based on the style of mineralization, silver mineralization that we have at San Marcial. We are advancing the bulk sample test mining, the BSTM, because it's important from a perspective of social license, because we have the infrastructure and the permits, and we have an underground mine, and silver is $80 an ounce. And we have been able to produce a lead and silver concentrate. So that's really why we are working this. And the company controls 100% of the project. We don't have any payments, and we have no debts outstanding. And the objective to have the resource in the second half and the PEA by the end of the year is a major milestone for this company. This has been reflected in the last 6-9 months. From July to December, the company was in the top 10 most traded company on TMX. And in December, we were in the top 3. It's a result of how we've been diligent to tell the story. Having said that, this is the contact information for the company, GRSilver Mining. We are on the TSXV and the GRSL, and we are on the OTCQB and the GRSLF and the DUGP. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to move to a series of questions. The first question is, for an institutional investor building a silver leverage basket, where do you see GRSilver fitting on the risk-reward spectrum versus pure explorer and near-term producers over the next 18, 24 months? The first part of the question, the risk-reward spectrum versus pure explorer. We fit in a more developing stage of company because we have a resource that's 2/3 indicated, and you have a site that is already a mine. The mine is built with the permits. That's there will be less risk and more reward, and the ability to really increase the ounces. In relation to the near-term producers over the next 18 to 12, 24 months, the ability to have a pilot plant in the next 6 to 9 months at the Plomosas mine site is a major milestone for this company. This is going to probably, before 18 months, place this company into a scenario that's probably or likely to be re-rated, because we are going to have a much larger resource and a pilot plant that can be producing some lead concentrate of silver. And this can be a very good addition for those who are looking for exposure to a company that's silver predominant, not really lead and zinc that has silver as a credit, because the San Marcial, the one that we are going to increase the resource, is predominantly silver. The next question I'm going to hear is, can you please clarify what type of license are in place right now? At the Plomosas mine site, we have the water license, which is extremely valuable in Mexico, the explosive permit, and a series of small licenses to operate. As the Plomosas mine is a pre-existing site that was a mine, we are investigating that probably we are not going to be required to do another environmental assessment report. We just need to have an authorization and some really confirmation by the authorities. I'm going to the next question. That's question number 5. Your discovery cost per ounce and ounces per meter are already competitive with much larger peers, yet your market cap is still in the 200-meter range. What specific milestones do you think could justify a re-rate closer to the billion-dollar names in your page slide? First and foremost important is the resource. The increase in the resource is a major milestone. If you are able to prove to the market in the second half that the resource is much bigger and higher grade, that's going to be a major catalyst. And the preliminary economic assessment, because that is going to really show what's the net present value of a project, the Plomosas project, where you can have a much lower capex project with a sizable potential production scenario. The next question I'm going to answer is just a second. Number 4, how does the company handle the security issues like Vizsla is undergoing? I think it's a very important question. I would like to address this. Our hearts are with the families of those that were kidnapped and those that suffered the death. It's a tragic situation. We have been operating in Mexico for more than 20 years. We have done other companies, and we have built companies, we have built mines, we have transact companies. It's very important to be very close to the country. The way you handle is to have a very close relationship with communities and understand the environment, and also be very close to the government. And also, since last year, we've been very close monitoring the situation, because unfortunately, the situation in Sinaloa has escalated. So we took a strategic decision to relocate our headquarters to Durango and explore other access to our site. So we are not really hostage to just one way through Sinaloa. But I hope the situation gets better because the government is becoming more and more active and engaged. But it's a sad story that I hope we don't see again in the near future in Mexico, because Mexico is a silver country and it's a mining country. And mining is a very important business for the development of the communities in many parts of the Sierra Madre. So, question, just a second. I need to scroll down a minute, just okay. 13, Mexico has seen changes in mining policy in recent years. What are the key regulatory or fiscal risks you monitor? The key regulatory and fiscal risks we are monitoring is the current situation when you see that there's a trading war between countries and Mexico needs to really improve their economy. And silver is, Mexico is the largest silver producer in the world. We are monitoring how the government is going to look at how to work with royalties on mining companies. And we hope that it doesn't increase this and create a more excessive cost for us. How are we incorporating to our long-term planning in the upcoming PEA? The way to do this is to create some contingencies, particularly in relation if there's a royalty, but also to really have a mining plan where we are mining high grade with a really high margin that, considering the current silver price, we are not really that affected by changes in the regulatory and fiscal system as taxations or new taxations that might happen in the silver space in Mexico. So, question 16, management has highlighted that 80% of the San Marcial chargeability anomaly remains untested. What would you need to see in 2026 to justify significant increased meters drilling in 2027? We would need to see confirmation of some areas around the surface of the anomaly where we believe we have some silver samples with grades, and apply some shallow drilling and create new targets. In summary, what we need to see from those areas is more evidence that support what we have discovered so far, that we have new targets. As a matter of drilling, is a matter to decide in the next 6-9 months as we manage the cash position of the company. But we are looking at this. We are not looking at only the step out. In 2026, if the conditions allow us to do it, we are going to look a little bit around this 80% of the anomaly to see what else we have there as a blue sky. Having said that, thank you very much for the opportunity, and GR Silver Mining is an opportunity for silver in Mexico.